more than anything, that's something I want people to be excited about. I think that we can all get together and hold hands and agree that no matter where you're at, if you're still mad that someone won't stop, if your crush becomes someone didn't and you had to make a tough choice, or if you're in early recovery and you're just trying to figure this shit out, is this ever going to feel good again? Yes, it will. Yes, it absolutely will. The sun will come up again. You will find meaning. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Till the Wheels Fall Off. I am Matt.
I'm Paige.
Today we're going to be talking about hope. We spend so much time on this show talking about reality and talking about what to do when you're in a bad situation and how to know when it's time to get out. And frankly, as a creator, I think that I can speak for myself and Paige here. It gets exhausting at times. It gets exhausting talking about this heavy stuff because we're not in that place anymore. But we are in a place where we can give people hope for what it's like on the other side, and reframing hope in general. And so that's what we're going to do in today's episode. I think that we've spent a lot of time in fear that we're going to give people false hope. And this is just some behind the scenes for you guys. We are very fearful that we're going to give people the wrong impression, that this is just easy and that this is everyone's outcome. And it's just not. But I feel like we've beat that horse quite a bit. And it's been a while since we revisited like a positive topic. If you're listening to this, it's Wednesday, the day after the election in the United States. And so half the country is really pissed off. I don't know which half that is. We're recording this before the election, but one half is happy, one half is really mad. And so that probably frames our listener base as very much the same way. People are going to be angry. This is a time of every 4 years, people just get really, really angry about pretty much everything.
Yes, it's been a very negative place on the internet right now.
It's been really tough lately. And so we're hoping to provide some kind of a bright spot, a bit of a reprieve, if you will, to help you get through whatever it is you're going through. Like as if it's not tough enough that you're going through whatever it is in your life that's brought you here, you've got all this other stuff on top of it. And so we're going to cut through that today and help you with some hope, help you find some hope today. That's just our goal.
A little bit lighthearted, a little bit more lighthearted than what we usually discuss.
Yep. And I'm not going to spend 12 minutes on ads, but I am going to talk about some ads. So
let's go.
If you follow our Instagram accounts or follow us in the Facebook community or on a Facebook page, you would have seen that we've got new sweatshirts that are up. They're finally up. I'm sorry this took so freaking long. I'm picky about stuff and to a fault where it just ends up taking too long.
It's not a bad thing. At least one of us has that in them.
What would you do if we had to get shirts out?
Y'all wouldn't even buy the shirts because the pictures would look so bad. I am not detail oriented. I put my energy into other shit.
Oh my God.
He is like on point and he makes it look great, but I'm just like, oh my gosh, can we please get this over with?
So we did 3. Thank you all to everyone that gave me ideas on colors. I needed some feedback there. And as it turns out, we have the same taste. Those were the 3 that I was going to pick anyway. But people loved, we did a pink one that says Wheelies on it.
That's my favorite.
It says Wheelie on it. It's like the official Wheelie crew neck.
It's established 2022.
Yeah, established 2022. It's the year we started the show.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Shout out to our Canadian Wheelie that helped me with that one. And we did a forest green, which I love. That's a color that I have just fallen in love with here over the past couple of years. It's a classic. It doesn't go out of style. We're also getting into the holiday season and it's fitting, I think. We did that. And we also did like a cranberry one that has, so I like thrifting on eBay. I find a lot of like old band shirts and just cool old
anything
stuff.
that's like distressed.
Like I like vintage stuff. And
yeah.
So I found this old Harvard sweatshirt and I just fell in love with it. It looked like someone had worn it 10,000 times over the last 30 or 40 years. And like the Harvard, like it says Harvard in the front, like a varsity script. And it was like distressed and tattered. And so I had our screen print guy who's amazing, Luis, and he made it look just like it. And everyone's a little bit different, but they're available on the website. If you want to grab one, they're up there. They're incredibly cozy. And the maroon ones, no 2 are alike. So if you see the pictures, like the one you get's not going to look just like that. And that's kind of the point.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They've all been hand screened.
And they're bigger, like they come bigger than
Oh, they're oversized.
oversized. So my medium looks like a large on me. Did you do green and cranberry on purpose because of Christmas time, or did you just want that?
It was kind of in the back of my mind that this is like very fitting for the holiday. That never occurred to you?
Nope.
So yeah, it's they're okay. So they're good fall and winter colors, first of all.
They are.
And then they also go with the holiday season.
It goes well with all of it.
And pink's great.
I like
it's
the
like
pink.
a heathery pink.
I'm not even really a pink person, but I think that pink looks good on me. I had a pink prom dress.
You did?
I did, which was really weird.
You do look good in pink. Even like when your nails and stuff.
Yeah. But I like the pink, the wheelie one. I wore it all weekend.
So they're great too. They are available and they are out there if you want to grab one.
Okay.
Check it out. We've got a community that's available there. If you don't know about it, it's a free community where you can come and network with other wheels, talk about episodes, talk about things that are going on in your life. We've got a newsletter there.
Hold on. I need to go back to the community. I'm sorry, we didn't discuss this first. But there is a wheelie who has set up a weekly podcast club in the community where you listen to a specific podcast that she has picked out and she asks questions. It's basically a reflection. It's a time for you to journal about it and listen to it, and it's growth oriented. And I just wanted to put that in the podcast because I don't think I discussed that. And I told her today that I would let everyone know that that's something else that you can dig into.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It is so amazing what she's doing.
You can really like dig down and drill into episodes and like what you gain from them. And it's helpful to really think about what you just listened to. I know it sounds exhausting, but there's a reason this is being done because there's growth on the other side of it. There's so much to be learned in these episodes. And I'm not saying that because we created them. It's because of what others have gained, like she's gained.
Right. And she asks specific questions for you to reflect on, like, what is this? What's helping you from this specific episode? And then you learn something from it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And if you're looking for, if you've tried things like Al-Anon and they just haven't fit with you, we also have a course. We built a course. It was intended to be an alternative. It's called Independently Strong. If you haven't heard us talk about it, it's a course that is designed to get you through what you're going through. If you feel lost, if you feel like you have just no clue who you are anymore or what to do next, we built a course with a licensed therapist to help get you there. It's called Independently Strong. You can check out more by going to our website. There's a link there for it, or head over straight to independentlystrong.com. If you want to purchase it, there's a 75% off coupon using the code Wheelies75. Again, that's Wheelies75 at checkout. And we've also got a sober link ad here. We've got amazing sponsor, SoberLink, that has reached out. I know that some wheelies have even taken them up on the offer, the $50 off a device. It's a really, really cool tool. So I'm not huge into tech, but I spent some time with them talking about the tech that's in this thing, and it's insane. Like the amount of technology that's in this device. It's like sort of like a smartphone. Like it is not just like what. Remember, like back in high school, we bought a breathalyzer and just to see how high we could get it to go.
We did that?
Yeah.
Well, you did that.
I did that. Well, anyway, it's not like that old breath. It's not the kind you buy at the drugstore or the supermarket or wherever you come across these things.
It's not easy to break.
This is a high-tech breathalyzer.
Yeah.
It offers a discreet and reliable way to monitor sobriety. So whether you're navigating like a co-parenting agreement, or you're working on your own recovery and you're trying to reestablish trust, SoberLink can help you bring much needed peace of mind.
Accountability.
It's a portable device, so charges like a cell phone would, and it has facial recognition technology. This is like military grade facial recognition technology. So it cannot be tampered with or messed with or beat. They know it is you if you are blowing into it. There's no way around this thing. It is the gold standard for reliability and validating results. They are not interested in proving one side or the other correct. They are interested in providing the best and most accurate data that exists. That's all they care about doing. They are not looking to get people in trouble. They are just trying to show results. That's all that they care about. And they have a 24/7 team on standby to monitor anything that seems irregular. So if you're afraid, well, oh, they're just out to get me. That's not the case. They are monitoring this stuff. If you have cologne on and maybe that sets it off funny, they can tell the difference. They're going to ask you to blow again. There are people behind this thing 24/7. It also has built-in tamper detection. So if someone does try to mess with the device, they will know and everyone will be notified. You can set up sober contacts. So if you're trying to reestablish trust in a relationship, you can set up like your spouse or your friends or your family therapist or whoever agrees to be in these emails, and they get notifications that says, hey, he blew clean or she blew clean. Like this is good. We can all celebrate that. We can all go home knowing that you are telling the truth. It helps reestablish trust. And I think that from the other side of this thing, I want people to know this is not going to solve all your problems. This is not like, I don't want people thinking, oh, I'll just go to SoberLink and that'll fix him or her. It won't. It will not. Absolutely, it will not do that. But it will give you peace of mind. It will allow you to trust your gut again because you will know
that right there.
Hey, I feel like something's up. Well, that data is going to tell you whether or not something's up. And that will allow you to understand what it's like to trust yourself again. Like, oh, I'm not crazy. There's totally something going on here.
Yep.
You will know that. It's really useful in co-parenting situations, as we mentioned previously. I don't think I would do this any other way. If I was in a custody agreement battle of some kind, this is the only thing that I would trust to know that my kids, the most precious things in my life are going somewhere safe or someone is sober. Okay. This is a device that's going to do that. It is court admissible in all 50 states and in Canada, offering proof of sobriety when it really matters. And that's why over 200,000 clients trust SoberLink and why it's called the gold standard in court. So if you're looking for accountability and peace of mind, go to soberlink.com/wheels to get $50 off of the device. Again, that's soberlink.com/wheels.
And Matt are you done with that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And I cut you off when you were talking about a newsletter, but Matt has a newsletter that he releases every Monday. It's absolutely amazing. You have to go sign up for it immediately at twfo.com. I mean, seriously, it is so good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm supposed to be posting those as a blog as well. And I just get busy and
life happens.
Forget.
We do everything.
I'm behind on that. I'm behind on that and I will get that. Yeah. Like we're behind right now. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're like, what the hell's wrong with them, man? I'm sitting here in a old Journey concert shirt and a Red Sox hat because I got rained on. We had like nasty storms.
Oh yeah, we had some crazy storms today.
And so my hair is like, oh my God.
It's so curly.
It just carrot topped. That's what my hair does. It curls. So it's just a mess. So we're a mess, but we're here. We're showing up.
Also, whenever this episode releases, you will be in either the hospital or at home. Yep. Matt is having a procedure done on his back. It's pretty significant. We've talked about it before, how he was going to have a procedure coming up. This isn't the injections. This is actually like they're going in and shaving some discs off or whatever.
Full-on back surgery.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be fun, right?
But that's kind of been, we haven't been stressed about it, but it's still, something that we're having to deal with.
Like, I was thinking about it. Like, I'm checking in tomorrow so I can like purposefully injure myself and not be able to do shit for like 6 weeks. It's wild. But in the long run, you pay that price in the beginning. In the long run, hopefully my feet don't go numb when I walk anymore and I'm not excruciating pain all the time.
And we can go do things with the kids for long periods of time so you don't have to sit
down.
Walk
around.
But yeah, it's still, you even talked to a pain management specialist last week, right?
Yeah, I talked to a therapist.
I thought this was interesting.
Yeah, I talked to a therapist.
You're trying to stay away from medication, from pills, because if you listen, you know that was his, drug of choice.
Yeah, I love opiates, man.
Yeah,
That's
so this is I'm not scared. I don't have like crazy fear around it or anything like that. We're just going in it with a pretty positive mindset, and I know that Matt can handle a lot of shit because he can handle a lot of pain. But he did have some discussions with a therapist about, mindful pain relief.
Yeah, like I'm pretty resolute on getting through this without the need for any sort of narcotics whatsoever. And I've talked to my doctors about my history, which I always do. And if you're in recovery, I suggest you have those conversations and just let them know where you're at. Because the brain's really sneaky. It's really sneaky and it's really clever about justifying things when you don't really need it. But there is such a thing as needing it. And I know the difference. And I talked to a pain specialist about holistic ways to deal with pain. We talked about distraction and how powerful a tool that can be. So crosswords, Tetris, she said Tetris specifically is like really good for keeping your mind busy. And like if you're not focusing on it, then you won't think about it as much. Now there is some level of pain for which you may just need relief. And like I'm not a martyr, but I'm pretty tough and I'm willing to go through it. And so we're gonna play that by ear. And I'm gonna go into it resolute that I'm not gonna use anything. If I wake up and it's like, holy hell, then we'll have that conversation. But I don't plan on it.
But back in the day, I wouldn't have known the difference of real pain and pain of just wanting narcotics because
and the brain is clever too.
Fucking like milk that shit.
Yeah, and like when I first cleaned up, like I actually had back pain, and then like my pain was really bad, and then after being off of like being clean for like 2 or 3 weeks, my pain was basically non-existent. Like my your brain will send pain signals because that's where they come from. Pain signals come from the brain, and it will send pain signals to get the drug. It's like trying to convince you in any way it can to get this drug in your body. And like once it finally realized it wasn't getting it, it just kind of dropped it and let it go.
Yeah.
But if now the pain is severe, it's bad. But I get through it with like ibuprofen and Advil and Aleve especially. I did a campaign with Aleve. Talked about this.
Yes.
I love that stuff. They won't let me take it though because it's like thins your blood.
It thins your blood. You can't have it before or after surgery for a while.
Yeah, so I'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll be fine. I just wanted to bring that up.
I appreciate everyone's like well wishes. I've gotten emails from people like wishing me all the best with this. I appreciate that. I really do. It means a lot. It's cool. It's actually kind of cool. It's like, I don't know. Before we started the show, like would I have been more lenient about not using it? Maybe, like
possibly
recovery is about me, but now it's like, it's kind of public. And so,
yeah, I think I might've had a little bit more fear around it, surrounding it as well. But then again, I don't know because we've talked about relapsing and you taking things. The fear has never been super big on my side. I haven't really thought about it too much. Like, yeah, it comes in my mind. I know it's always a possibility, but it's not like it doesn't consume me basically.
Yeah.
So,
and that's a healthy place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Very healthy.
So on to this hope thing, like
talking about healthy,
man, understanding that like, I think here for the last, I don't know, when did this election stuff start? Like 4 or 6 months ago, like really ramped up.
Yeah.
And it's just been weird. It's just been weird. And every 4 years this pops up and everything just gets weird. Like social media, I think the algorithms kind of know this shit.
I unfollow a lot of people on social media during this time of year.
And like we have always maintained like we are politically agnostic.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much in real life, but especially on this show, we don't talk politics, but we are going to talk about a bit of the effects of what this stuff does for people. Mm-hmm. It's just like, it's designed to be divisive, right? Because they want you to like, vote for my side, whichever one that might be. And so it's just with these like negative tactics that they destroy the other one. And so like kind of feeds into everything. And then you get people with their opinions about things and that's what their platforms turn into.
And they're very emotionally charged.
Man, it's like, it's serious stuff that people are talking about, and like, I get that. And I understand that. I just remain politically agnostic. It's too much for me. I just don't. I don't want to go there, but it affects people and we can see that. And we can tell by the number of listens that we get in any given week. We can tell when people get distracted around holidays and certain events. Like we can see the numbers on the back end and like how these things correspond to certain holidays or events, things that happen. Mm-hmm. And the election is no doubt kind of distracted people and it's kind of gotten them into a funk.
Yeah.
And we're coming up on the holidays near the end of the year. This is always a really difficult time for people, especially if they're with someone who is struggling to get sober or if you're in a situation where you're like newly single for the first time in forever. Like it's a tough period.
Even if it's like the first year into sobriety, it's kind of scary. No, it's scary because of the triggers that could pop up with the holidays and stuff.
Right. Yeah. It's difficult, man. So with this episode, I want to give people some hope. I want to give people some lightheartedness. I want to remind them that this is not all doom and gloom, that there's actually something to look forward to in all of this. Like speaking personally from where we're at, like there are several couples and we hear from them and we see you guys who are doing the same thing that we did. Like they're resolute on figuring this shit out and they are working on this together.
Yeah.
And someone who has formerly abused substances is working their living ass off and learning how to operate without that stuff. And they're learning how to understand and empathize with their partner's perspective. And the partner's holding space and patience for all the things that they're not receiving right now because someone's not able. And like, we see you guys. And I just want you to know, if you stay the course, it's going to get better.
Yep.
It can't get worse. It will get better. Doesn't mean that there's ever really an end. Like there's no finish line.
I mean, anything can get worse. What do you mean?
It's not going to get, okay. It's not going to get worse.
If you keep doing what you're supposed
to where you were at, if you keep doing what you're doing. It doesn't mean that life won't happen. It doesn't mean that stuff won't come up, but
if
you
anything,
won't be there
more
anymore.
stuff comes up and you have to deal with it in different ways, but you're going to be stronger and you're going to be equipped. Yes. And more resilient on how to deal with things.
You're going to know how to deal with it.
It can be beautiful.
Yeah. It can just be so good. And I think it's very rare that we talk about that anymore. It's rare that we give people that sort of hope because our fear has always been someone's going to fall in love with that idea and not look at the reality of the situation that they may be in, which in many cases can be a very dangerous situation for them or children. And we want people to know the difference. And I'm going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. If you've been listening, you know the difference now. You know the difference. Like, we talk about reality all the time. We rarely ever talk about hope. We hardly ever discuss it. And hope can be different for everyone. We talked about like what ours look like and like those couples that are working through it. But there's just as much hope to be had from someone who is not in that relationship anymore, or from someone who is still with someone who's in active addiction and they're uncertain what life can look like. They can't imagine what life would look like. And so I'm going to open this up with a bit of a story. If you read the newsletter this morning, I wrote about gratitude and meaning.
Or Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning. Sorry. Yeah, you're listening to this on Wednesday. That's right. We're recording this Monday, super late.
Y'all know what we meant.
But
I'm just picking on you
the
today,
newsletter
baby.
was about gratitude and meaning, no matter the circumstances. And so I started it out with this discussion about reservations. Now, in recovery circles, reservations kind of refer to like lingering doubts or uncertainties or like these mental like escape clauses, I guess, that we kind of have as it pertains to recovery and sobriety. Like many people, like I always ask people, like when I discuss early sobriety with them, is like, do you have any reservations about being sober? And rarely are people honest here. They're like, no, I'm done. I'm through with that shit. But everyone has reservations. Everyone does. Okay. Just be honest about them. Mine personally was, I don't know if I could stay sober if something happened to my kids. Like, I don't know if I could deal with the pain of losing a child or some like a terminal illness or something like that. I don't know if I could do that. I just don't know. I don't know how anyone could ever go through that kind of pain without numbing out. I just don't. And for other people, it might be that. And then some others, it might be like divorce or like the breakdown of a family unit or being alone. You know, like there are many things in recovery that, like when the rubber meets the road, are you really ready to walk this? Are you really ready to do this? And that's what reservations are about. And I was talking to this guy, and he's since passed, but I'll never forget this conversation I had with him. I had never really discussed my reservations, maybe with like one person, but I'd kind of worked through them, and I just took it on faith that there was someone out there that had dealt with it and they figured it out. And if they could do it, then I could do it. There was a well-worn path to do it. I just didn't know what it looked like. And so this guy was talking about, he was talking about something unrelated and kind of got on the topic of reservations and then hard times in recovery. And he shared with me, and I'd known him for a while, that his son had committed suicide when he was just a few years sober. His like early 20s, young 20s son had committed suicide. And like, it took my breath away. I was looking at him, and he wasn't looking me in the eye. He was kind of looking down, and I could tell it was painful for him. And I didn't really know how to respond. And the only question I could think of in my mind that like I felt like I had to get out was like, how did you get through that? How did you do that? And he started to talk about how he processed that moment. So him and his wife had been estranged for a while, and him and his son weren't the closest because of what alcoholism does to a family, right? Because of the things that you see, the things that your parents go through, and like you got to sit on the sidelines and be party to that and all this shit that takes place, right? But they had reconciled a bit in the previous year or two, but his son had been struggling and just hadn't been talking to him about it, hadn't been talking to anyone about it. And so he took his life, and he said that he got the call, and his first thought was like, I wish I could just join him. Like I don't want to live anymore. If he's not here, what's the point? Like, what's the point of any of this, right? Like, what's the point of doing any of this shit anymore? And then he said he quickly remembered what he had read in Viktor Frankl's book, Man's Search for Meaning. And it's the first time I'd ever heard about the book. And it's about reframing hope in some aspects. We'll get into a bit about what it really meant to me and what I think it can mean to you too, if you've never read it. But Viktor Frankl talks about the last freedom that we truly have is our ability to choose our mood and our responses and our attitude at any given moment, no matter what. And so he took that thought, and in that moment, he was able to find gratitude that for 20, this is going to be hard to get through, but I'll do my best. it's just such an emotional moment. I remember, and I just can't imagine how he felt or how we got to this point and how he arrived at this moment where he was able to find like anything other than just pain and despair. But he said for 20 something years, God had given him the gift of being that kid's dad. And he had gotten those moments and no one could take those from him. And he had gotten the chance to impact his son's life in some way. He was a privilege to be his father. He said that same boy also had to watch his father abuse his mother. And he took ownership of that. And he understood that he played into this whether or not he liked it or not. And so he was being so brutally honest with himself, but compassionate with himself at the same time and with his son. And he was finding gratitude in this. And in that moment, I realized no matter what happens, we get to choose how we respond. No matter what. It doesn't matter what happens. We get to choose our response. There's freedom in that no one can ever take from us. And so I don't believe in reservations anymore. And it was after that day I realized there's nothing that anyone can go through. And read Viktor Frankl's book. This man was a survivor of a concentration camp during the Holocaust. There's nothing that you can't go through where you can't find some sort of hope. You can't find something. And Frankl says that it all boils down to finding meaning in your experiences. If you can't find meaning in your experiences, then it was all for naught. It's about meaning. It's about finding purpose. And we try to do that on the show every single week when we talk. That's what Paige and I do. That's what we spend our nights and we spin our wheels and we think about what's a message that we could give people. It all boils down to this. How are you going to find meaning? How are you going to find meaning in this? We found meaning one way. I had a chance to live and I fucking took it. I took it and I ran with it. I never looked back. Other people are going to have to find meaning in other ways. They just are, just like my friend did whenever his son took his life. And you can do it. Viktor Frankl said that we can discover meaning by creating work or doing a deed, by experiencing something or encountering someone. He explained this as through love, or by choosing one's attitude toward unavoidable suffering. And the third path in particular emphasizes his belief in the human capacity to choose a response to suffering, which he saw as an essential form of freedom. He said that even in the most dire circumstances, people retain the freedom to choose their outlook and attitude. And freedom is key to finding meaning. That's what it all boils down to. And so no matter where you're at in your life, I want you to have hope and happiness in the fact that no matter what, no one can take your freedom away to choose how you decide to feel about something and what you decide to do with it. More than anything, that's something I want people to be excited about. I think that we can all get together and hold hands and agree that no matter where you're at, if you're still mad that someone won't stop, if you're crushed because someone didn't and you had to make a tough choice, or if you're in early recovery and you're just trying to figure this shit out, is this ever going to feel good again? Yes, it will. Yes, it absolutely will. The sun will come up again. You will find meaning.
It's about shifting your perspective.
It is. It's really what it's about. Like Frankl said that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, and that's the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And so we talk about reframing hope. We talked about reservations a little bit. And so I want to talk about how to find meaning and real hope. We've covered this. Paige, you've done a phenomenal job of covering this before. I think, did we have an episode on this?
Reframing hope.
Right?
You did,
or was it a letter?
You did a blog post on reframing hope that is just beautiful. I try to share it as much as possible when people ask questions about hope, and how to reframe it. But I don't know if we've actually broken it down.
Okay. Well,
on an episode.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, I don't think you have the correct one up.
No, because I was going to talk about something else, but I guess we're just going to roll with it.
Nope. We're not.
No.
It's too late.
Why?
I want to do what you want to do.
No. We're still on it. What did you want to talk about
Nothing.
specifically?
I wanted you to run through the process of we've both had to do this at various points in our lives.
Well, I think that we do
and watched others do it.
I think that this just goes with anything in life, is shifting your hope and your perspective on things, and not looking at not being pessimistic about everything. It's kind of like when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. It's like when life gives you hands you this whatever you're given.
sums
Like
it up.
just try to make the best out of it. So I just wanted to break it down real quick on like what hope looks like if you're still with somebody in active addiction, what hope can look like with somebody that's in recovery, and what hope can look like if you've left. Because hope is going to be different for everybody.
It is.
It's different for everybody. Of course, we all have come into this just having that one hope that everything will be how we want it to be. But life doesn't work that way. Life is complex. Life is messy. Life rarely ever works in the way that we hope it works.
Yeah. And your hope and your happiness are not contingent on certain events happening.
No.
They're just not. But
No.
I know we get so married to that belief, and we think that I can't be happy unless the following happens. That's not happiness. That's not the way any of this works.
Right.
That's not how this works. That is a recipe. You are setting yourself up for disappointment and disaster, most likely. Because it's rare in my experience that life works out exactly the way you want it to. It's just rare. It just doesn't really work that way. And so much is out of our control. And so you're kind of like throwing everything to the craps table and saying, putting it all on this. Like,
Right.
And if that doesn't happen, then I have no plan B.
Right. I'm not, and just kind of going back to the election right now and things that happen, there's either an A or B, is someone who's going to win and who's not going to win. You get to, you have a vote, but you don't really get a say in who wins and who loses. It's really out of your control. Have those emotions and have those feelings. You can hope, but what are you going to do if it doesn't go the way that you want it to go? You're going to be miserable for the rest of the 4 years? Are you going to, bitch about it all the time? Or are you going to look at it as like, you know what? I did my part. I did what I could do, and this is what I got, and I'm going to make the best out of it. It's all about shifting your perspective, because you don't want to be pissed off all the time, right? You don't want to be pissed off just because things didn't go your way. That goes with the relationships too. We can't be mad all the time if it doesn't go the way we want it to go. So we shift our hope and our perspective with every situation that is given to us in life.
Beautifully said. That was beautifully said.
That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we get so married to like a singular outcome.
Yeah, we do. We do. And that's something that you and I believe that you and I have done really well with this, like majority of our relationship is being able to make the best out of whatever outcome has been given to us. So I did a TikTok video today. It will be like a few days before this was released, or this episode's released, about how I see a lot of people focusing on the other person, saying if they only get sober, things will be better. If they would go to therapy, things would be better. If they would just get help, things would be better. You're putting all of your hope in that basket, in that person to make you happy.
That is completely out of your control as well.
Completely out of your control.
Yeah.
So we have to shift the hope whenever you're with somebody who's in active addiction. Put it on yourself. That the hope is going to be focusing on what you can control, what your self growth, your values, find who you want or who you are. You're going to find hope through personal boundaries and just setting boundaries and figuring out what you will and will not tolerate. That's where the hope can be shifted to. It's more to yourself instead of the other person and the marriage. Have the hope that you're going to make a life that's great for you and your children.
Yeah, that's from the other side of things, like from my perspective on this. I know we have a lot of people who are in recovery that listen. Hope looks different for us too, right? Like I mentioned, like you've got some kind of reservation. You have it. Maybe you haven't vocalized it, but you have it. If I lost this job, I don't know if I could do this. Or if she leaves me, I don't know what I'm going to do. What's the point? Or if something happened to one of my children, God forbid, what would I do? Like, there's nothing in the world that can make you do anything. You will make that choice when the time comes. Mm-hmm. You will make the choice one way or the other. It's not so much the event as it is what you decide to do with whatever that catalyst might be. And so I think that to me gives me so much peace of mind. I'm like, okay, so it's not going to happen by accident. Now it's up to me. Now it's my job to make myself as resilient as possible, so that I can withstand the storms of life. Yeah. And if that is the goal, if that is what we're trying to optimize for, then you can never be disappointed. I mean, you might be disappointed, but you can never be completely thrown off the rails. You can never be completely crushed by anything.
Right. You can feel those feels, right? And you need to grieve certain things. Like there's a healthy grieving is important, but you're not going to, don't sit in it for too long.
Right.
Like shift it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, man, it's just like, I think it's so empowering. It's so empowering when I hear things like that. I think for some people it's scary because they're still so married to this idea that no, it has to be this specific way or I can't figure it out. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can. I promise you can. I have watched people go through, you name it, everything, and they came out the other side. If they can do it, then why not us? Why not me? Why not you? It's possible. We know it's possible. So then now it's just a matter of pain tolerance and resilience. And how bad do we want it? How bad do we really want to be happy? Like, we all want to be happy, right? Happy's great. Happy's fun. But like being happy.
Yeah.
This is a way that you can almost guarantee that you will be happy.
What, reframing your hope?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. It does give you a sense of clarity and contentment whenever you're able to really focus on the things that you can control and not putting your hope into just one basket.
Yeah.
But let's say that you have left the relationship or someone has left the relationship. Where's the hope in that? You know, because that means that you're getting the outcome that you didn't really want. So you're going to grieve, you know, you're going to be sad about it, but there's a lot of hope in that because if you reframe it, you can look at it as, you know, becoming free from the chaos, you know, getting out of the chaotic cycle that you've been in for a long time. You get to rediscover yourself and your dreams and your goals and who you want to be in life. You get to embrace new relationships further on down the line, or even relationships with yourself, or even your relationships with your kids. Like, they're going to change as well for the better, probably. And then you're acknowledging the strength to walk away. That's something to be proud of for yourself as well. And that's shifting that hope into something completely different than what you expected.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world. If you find yourself in this situation where you've done everything you absolutely could. And we encourage people, like, turn over every stone, do everything you can.
Yeah. Exhaust all the options.
Try therapy, try counseling, try to read the books, work through this, be patient, give it time. But if you get to a point where you're like, we are at the point of no return, this is not the end of the world. Like, think about all the amazing opportunities and possibilities this opens up for people. Mm-hmm. Like, really, like, have you ever wanted to, I don't know, see the world? You can do that now without the worry of that kind of attitude that person's going to bring with it.
Right.
Or the kind of rain that they're going to throw over everything you want to do, mm-hmm. you know, over the teasing and the shit talking and everything else. And it's like, if you do a cost benefit analysis, like, the benefits will outweigh the cost of what you dealt with to get a semblance of what you thought you wanted. And like, there will be a day, I promise you, maybe you think I'm crazy saying this, but you will be so grateful that you didn't get what you thought you wanted.
Yeah.
There will come a day.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yep.
I talked to a group of people tonight at a treatment center. There was probably like 50 people. And I think about 40 of them were in there for the very first time, like in their first week in treatment. And in that first week, people are mourning this loss of the old life. And they're also coming to terms with the damage that they've done. It's a really, really
surface level, dark,
emotional place to be on a Monday evening in the pouring rain, but right where I needed to be. I'm glad I was there and that they allowed me there. But for so many of us, and I know this is not comparable necessarily to someone having to leave their home and having their dreams crushed, but there is something to be said about a way that you've lived your life for 30, 40, 50 years for some people, and you've become so used to this way of you operating where when life gets really tough, you turn to a substance. It becomes the most comfortable thing in the world. It's like a warm, fuzzy blanket.
Pacifier.
You're like the only thing you can actually depend on in the world, even when it's causing you harm. You have to be there to understand it. But for the first week or so, like, you mourn that old life because you're like, how the hell am I ever going to have fun as an adult again if I'm not like at church camp and being corny about everything? Like, how am I ever going to watch a game again? Like, how am I ever going to have fun on vacation again? Like, what do you do after work? Like, your whole world comes crumbling down in this moment. And some people just stay there. And that's as far as they ever take it, was that this sucks. The end.
Yeah.
And then there are a few others that think of the possibilities. Mm-hmm. What's possible now? What can I do?
And you spin it. It's all about perspective.
It's all it is, man. I remember thinking, like, getting so excited about, like, if there is a way to have fun without it, I'm really interested to find out what that's like. Like I see these happy assholes like wandering around. They're out there doing it.
It was a challenge to you. It wasn't like an obstacle.
Take it as a challenge. Like, what is wrong with a good challenge?
Everything should be a challenge. The only
reason I'm not dead today is because I took challenges when they presented themselves.
Right.
Like,
instead of being stuck and
why are you
sulking
scared
in
of it? Why are you scared of the challenge? You think you can't do it? You can. You can absolutely survive anything we throw at you. Mm-hmm. Anything.
Yep.
I wish people would give themselves a little bit more credit. Mm-hmm. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. It is not reserved for some and not for others. There are not certain qualifications for people that get this thing and then those that don't. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you're at in your relationship. If you're on the outskirts of it, wondering what the hell happened, how do I make sense of this? Reframe that hope. It may not be exactly what you wanted, but it doesn't mean that it can't be fucking awesome or even better.
Right.
Like, have the possibility.
Right. Absolutely. So if you're in a relationship still and you're both working, you're both working on recovery, you're both working really hard. I know that a lot of the times the hope is going to be, oh, I just want to get back to where we were when we first met. I want our relationship to be how it used to be. I hope that, we can just be better than ever, which, yeah, you can be better than ever, but I like to shift the hope into something new and exciting. You're able to heal together and process things together. You're going to communicate differently. You're going to rebuild trust. You're going to reconnect. You're also going to be able to find yourself again, separately, but together. That's something to be hopeful for. It's going to be different. It's going to be different than it was before, but it can be better if you're both doing the work. And that's where your hope can shift with that, is that, like, there's going to be things that you're going to miss. You're going to miss a lot of things in the old life that you had together, enjoying each other's company, having a few, drinks and laughing and giggling and being goofy together. That's may not happen immediately. It's going to take a while for you to find your groove again. Things are going to, it's going to feel different, but it'll be better. Like, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll be better.
I've always said, like, give me a couple that figured this out over any couple in the world. Mm-hmm. Give me a person that has been through this and found their way out the other side stronger over any person in the entire world. There are things that you have to learn, that you're sort of forced to learn whenever you deal with this, that some people never have to do in their lives. Like, there are people that listen to us that are in their 60s and they're learning things from us. Well, how could that be? It's because you have to do so much work on yourself and on human nature and on your partner and on emotions that some people don't get in a lifetime.
Yeah.
You have to do that in order to make this happen. And so what you get as a result of that is the strongest relationship that exists on this planet. I've often said this, and I will stand by this. I will put our marriage up against anybody's in the world. If there were a competition for best marriage, I would bet everything I had that we would win it. 100%.
Yeah.
It's because of the worst possible outcome in our lives happening. At the time, it felt that way anyway.
Yeah, it's because we took the tools that we learned from those things. You learn so much.
You learn how to communicate, like how to actually communicate with each other. Mm-hmm. You learn how to empathize with one another's perspective. Mm-hmm. You learn how to hold space for each other. Yep. You learn how to validate.
Like, you learn what abuse really is.
You learn how, and how really dig deep and, like, damn, I've got some really shitty behaviors.
You learn more about self-awareness.
Way more than you actually... Almost too much, because you're overly self-aware.
Right.
And you just forget how to be a normal human. But you learn how to laugh together like you did when you just met, without anything around you, like when you were teenagers, without substance. You're just fucking enjoying life. You're high on life. You get to learn how to do that again.
You learn how to parent differently.
You do. You see the world completely
You learn
differently.
how to think outside the box. You learn how to think in gray areas. You learn how to not look at everything so all or nothing. You know, you deal with your cognitive distortions, like we've talked about. We talk about that in our program. But that's about self-awareness, and you figure out how to live life a totally different way. You learn more about anxiety and how to cope with it and how to deal with it. And the depression, you learn how to deal with that. All the things. Like this life, we've been through a lot of shit, but damn, look at what we've learned from all of it and what we've taken from it and how we've spun it, and our perspective is different because of it.
Wisdom that most people don't get in an entire lifetime is what you can get whenever you're really doing the deal.
Yep.
And something else I've seen, and I don't want to use their names because I'll respect the fact that I didn't ask them if I could say this, but I'm just going to say it as if I don't know who they are. But anyway, there's a couple that listens to us, and I freaking love them. Haven't got the chance to meet them yet, but I follow them on TikTok, and it's husband and wife. Husband is in recovery. Wife is a listener to the show. They listen together, and this guy, it looks like like if you looked up male in the dictionary, he looks like male. Like this dude's huge. He looks like, I don't know if he's in the army, but he looks like he was in the army or something. And like big beard, like burly, like someone you would not want to meet in a dark alley. You know? And he was doing these TikTok skits with her and acting goofy and just being vulnerable and being himself. And I'm being like, that's it. That's the shit that you get to do that no one else does. You get to rediscover what it is to be a partner again. And like, that's the dude she fell in love with. That's him right there. Guarantee that guy was non-existent before he decided to walk this path. I guarantee it. And I see that so many times where you just discover like, dude, like you're not dead. You might old, but you ain't dead yet.
Yeah.
Like enjoy it. Like lean into it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like we can have corny fun. It's a good time. I promise you. It's not all just around drinking and using drugs. It's not. Like there's so much to be said about working through this. And I know that in the beginning it feels fucking like, how are we ever going to overcome this? And you may be dealing with stuff like heavier than what we dealt with. You may have affairs or any number of things that are like just you cannot imagine getting the other side of them. Dr. Taylor's been on the show. Dr. Taylor's also my best friend. So we talk a lot about not specific patients, but cases, if you will, about couples that make it to the other side. And he's like, oh no, they do it. They do it all the time. It's just rare because at some point you have to decide, am I going to forgive or are we going to get divorced? That's what it boils down to for a lot of people.
Right.
It once again, like talked about Frankel, like you get to choose. It's a choice you get to make. And I'm not saying make one choice or the other. I'm just saying it's a choice you get to make. It's not like anything's set in stone. Maybe at some point the damage is too great. It's just not an option to move on. But in other times there's a way out. It is doable. Like nothing's a death sentence is what I'm trying to say. Nothing is a death sentence.
Right. And
you can learn so much in going through shit. Like so many times I've talked about the alchemy of recovery. And I don't think that really resonates with people because maybe I'm the only nerd that's read The Alchemist like 5 times.
No, I think a lot of people have read it.
Or the only nerd that played Dungeons and Dragons in our last campaign was called The Alchemist.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it absolutely was. And it was great. It's fun. But anyway, alchemy, right? It's transformation. It's taking something essentially worthless and making it beautiful, making it have meaning. It's making meaning of your experiences. No matter how far down you've gone, there is meaning and there is purpose. And if you can't find that, then what are we doing? Like, why is life even worth living at that point?
Right.
Like Frankel did it, right? Read that guy's book, Man's Search for Meaning, and tell me you can't leave that with any situation you've ever been through and say, okay, maybe I was being a bit of a bitch about that. That's the way I felt. I was like, okay, maybe I was being a little dramatic after what this guy's been through, after hearing what my friend had gone through. And I'm mad that like a customer turned me down or like it felt huge to me, but it wasn't like, there are real problems people deal with, man.
Yeah. Well, a lot of our listeners deal with really real problems that are.
I recognize that.
Okay.
I recognize that.
I wanted to make sure that you did. Like, no, but within their relationships, like it's constant.
But there's meaning and purpose to be found even in that. What's the next type of folk? Well, we talked about people that are still in.
Yeah. We talked about people in recovery and we talked about those that have left.
Okay. So yeah, meaning and purpose for all.
Yeah.
For all three of them. Yeah.
Yeah, just shifting your hope.
If you go to our website, there's a blog there called Hope is Beautiful, Hope is Dangerous. And it kind of gets back to this central idea that, like, remember when you were young and you had a fire in you at some point, whether before you picked up that first drink or before you met this person that you're currently in this relationship with and you're not sure how it's going to end. You had dreams, you had aspirations about life. You felt like you had purpose, like you were going somewhere, or even if you didn't know, you just knew it was going to be great. You were going to make the most of it and it was going to be great. Well, like those options didn't go anywhere. No, they're still there. We just get so focused on the end goal of the path that we want that we stop hoping for any other outcome. Like, you will be happy again one day. And while it may not be within the very specific parameters of what you decide are your reservation for which you will be happy, it doesn't mean that happiness can't be made with those ingredients, right? Like Paige is the best cook. And what I mean by that is that I could give Paige like a pack of saltine crackers, like some little packets of mustard, like some ham, and like some celery, and she could make something that was amazing.
Oh, hell yeah. I just thought of some things in my head.
Exactly. But that's what I mean is that, like, you had plans of something, right? Something else, but this is what we've been given. What are we going to do with that? And that's what resilience is about. That is what resilience is ultimately about. There's a difference between being resilient and persevering. Persevering is simply getting through it. I just
getting
got
through the
it,
motions.
right?
I got through it.
I got through it. Like,
Right.
That's just it. That's all that really defines perseverance. It's just getting through it. It's persevering.
Yeah.
But resilience is different. Resilience is about your ability to bounce back. It's about your ability to be flexible.
It's kind of improvising.
It is. And it's also about your ability to find meaning and purpose.
Yeah. Through all the things.
Rather than just persevering. But there are times in life that ebbs and flows. Like, there will be times where you just persevere. We've all been there before.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You just hold on for dear effing life, right? Resilience is when you're able to take that experience and do something with it after the fact. But you can't just stay holding on, white knuckling. God, I hope this works out. I'm really not happy right now, without taking charge in some way,
without
shape, or
taking
form.
action or doing something.
Doing something.
Can I shift real quick about what I went through on Halloween?
Yeah.
And how I went to the counselors conference.
Oh yeah.
And how
Let's do it.
Okay, so
we haven't told that story.
No, so we were both invited to it to promote our podcast to therapists and counselors.
Yeah, the Texas Counselors Association.
Yes. And Matt couldn't go because he had to work his actual day job. So he's like, nope, Paige, you're going to have to go do this on your own. Well, I've been very open about my journey and how, I'm pretty shy, I guess, or I didn't want to do the podcast. I didn't like getting in front of people. I didn't want to do the things. So I was pretty nervous to go to this thing by myself. I mean, it was intimidating for me. Like I'm invited to this. I get to go and share something that I'm really passionate about, but are they really going to take me seriously? All the things. And I got there and I was like, I got out of my comfort zone, but realized that I was actually in my comfort zone. Like, I found old Paige. I realized that I was actually I used to be a social person. I used to enjoy talking with people about random things or things that I was passionate about or just being involved. And I had realized in that moment that I had held myself back for many years thinking that I was one way when I was really not like that. Like, I really enjoyed it.
You talked yourself into it, didn't you?
I did. I did not just get through it. I made the best out of it and I enjoyed it and I improvised and I was like, I want to do this again. I can't wait to do this again. We're going to do this again. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep spreading the message and doing this, what we're doing. It's like it's a big deal. It's a big deal for both of us, but it was that moment, that day was a really big deal for me because I felt like me.
Rediscovered that person.
I did.
She'd never gone anywhere, had she?
No.
She was always there.
Yeah.
But we become so fixated on this identity that we've almost assigned ourselves that we forget about other possibilities that are out there.
Yeah.
So no matter where you at, hope exists for you. Happiness exists for you. In the beginning, we have to feel validated and we feel heard. And then we have to grieve a bit. We get educated on what we're up against. We face reality. And then like we've always said, like, and listen, our listeners aren't the ones that need to hear this. It's the people that don't listen. And so we can't ever really reach them, but we're going to say it anyway. It's like, take action at some point. Like we can't just vent forever. We can't just vent and vent and vent and vent and talk about how terrible this is. You're persevering. Let's take some action.
Yeah.
Like let's what does resilience look like here? Like,
Right.
how do we reframe hope?
Right.
How do we move forward? How do we find purpose and meaning in this? And looks different for everyone, right?
It will.
Like, it's varied. It is not clean cut. There is no recipe. Don't even email me and say, well, exactly how long. Listen, it just takes what it takes. But if you're doing the work and you're geared toward, how do I make meaning of this? How do I find purpose in this? You will find it. That's exactly what you'll find. But if you stay stuck in this singular outcome, is like, this is the only way that I can be happy. Or for me in those early days, I can only stay sober on these conditions. That is a recipe for disaster. Ask anyone that's tried to get sober and didn't make it what kind of reservations they had. They would say, well, I thought I could just kind of give up at some point and just kind of coast. Well, yeah. So as long as it was easy, you were willing to stay sober. But as soon as shit got hard, what'd you do? Like, you weren't prepared for that. You have to prepare for this. And life is, on the other side, is no different. This applies to everybody. This applies to everyone, not even those who just listen to the show or have been affected by addiction in some way. This applies to everyone, y'all. Like, if you don't have plan B, C, D, E, and F, what are we doing here? Mm-hmm. Like, for us, I can honestly say, though, like, there was, in the beginning, I remember that they told me, like, 1 in 20 people make it, and that's 5%. And I just remember thinking, like, it sucks to be the other 19 of you in this room because I'm going to figure it out. I don't care. Like, there was no other way in my mind. It was either, for me, it was I was going to take my own life or I was going to figure this shit out. And in part of that was like, I will do everything in my power to save my marriage. Everything in my power. Like, I'm not fucking around anymore. I will do whatever it takes. But at some point it would be out of my hands. And that kind of came to a head, a few years into this deal. And everyone will get to that point a few years in. Like, there's this honeymoon period where it's like, oh, everything's better. It's all good. Mm-hmm. And then shit will hit the fan. And like, then you get hit with the reality that like you've dealt with all kinds of horrible behaviors, and you're going to be mad at yourself. You're going to be mad at them. Some of it, you're not sure if you can move past. You thought you could, but now you're not so sure. And then the rubber meets the road, it's like, okay, so are we going to do this deal or not? Are we going to figure this out or not? And we had that moment. Mm-hmm. It was out of my hands at that point. And at that moment, I'm like, okay, well, I can be the best fucking dad in the world. I can still be the best parent. I can still be the best co-parent in the world. I can still support you in other ways. Mm-hmm. Even if we're not, romantic anymore, I'll figure this out. I will figure this out some way, somehow. Like, I will do it. I will do it. And that's the case for everyone. It's just a matter of, are we willing to look at the reality of that? And then what are we willing to do with it next? I just want everyone to know that everyone has an equal opportunity to make something beautiful of all of this, no matter what stage in this you're in. And I know with the election coming up, you would need something positive because it's, like I said, you're going to wake up and half the world's going to be pissed and half the world's going to be ecstatic, which is going to make the other side even more pissed. And it's just like, it's awful, man.
I wonder if our downloads are going to be down that day.
No doubt. They are.
I know. It really does make a difference. I mean, the world is just kind of crazy right now.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And thank you to speaking of down, thank you for everyone that listens. Like, getting to 250,000 downloads, I guess, like, in some ways we'd hoped it'd happen, but we were going to do it either way. Like we said, we'd do this thing for 5 years.
We are 2 years in right now. We've got 3 more years of this.
At least. We'll see where it goes.
And we don't know where it's going to go. It could shift at some point. I mean, we've already shifted it a little bit. So
yeah, we've got a lot more guests in store. We've got an author lined up. Celeste Yvonne, author of It's Not About the Wine, is lined up to come on here in the next several weeks. Mm-hmm. We have got, who else was there? Oh, we are going to be on someone else's show. That's what I was thinking. Later this week, possibly, depending on how I feel.
Yeah, it depends on your surgery and how, if you're going to be able to sit up or
on
not. We'll see. It's something we haven't scheduled.
A really fantastic sex addiction therapist that's going to be in December. More to come on that.
We have another content creator too.
Oh, we do. Mm-hmm. I need to reach out to her. Mm-hmm. Yep. So we've got all kinds.
She was more on like narcissism.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you guys follow someone or you listen to someone, I mean, obviously there's some people that are out of our reach. Like, I don't know, like, yeah, Dr. Phil's not coming on this show, you know, or like whoever, like if there's someone like mid-sized creator, like that you have aligned with, and you think that they would be great for the show, great for the audience, a good conversation, we would love to talk to them. Shoot us an email, info@twofocouple.com. And I would, reach out and set something up. We finally got the remote podcasting thing figured out. Thank you for your patience with all that. Doesn't mean we're going to have guests every week. It's still going to be us two, but we're going to sprinkle in guests to make this thing more interesting. And we'll kind of ramp that up over time. But in the beginning, we didn't want to change too much. You know, I know that people can kind of revolt when it's like, hey, I've gotten used to this and now you're changing it on me. I think we're not going to do anything if it can't be multiplicative, or, you know, I'm not going to do anything that's like makes it worse. I'll put it that way. I'm not going to have a guest for the sake of having a guest.
Oh yeah.
Like if they're coming on, it's going to be like,
it'll be valuable.
It's going to have value.
Yeah.
End of story. Okay. Well, I think that's all we've got. Was there anything else?
No.
Nope.
I think we're good.
It's time for bed.
Yeah.
It's time for bed. Okay. Again, sweatshirts are up. Sorry about that. Took so damn long. And if we do sell out, and then we may, I don't know. We didn't get that many because I'm still really dumb in matters of e-commerce. Like, I don't know how many. I don't know. I don't remember how many ordered last time. But I will restock them quickly, and I'm shipping them straight to the.
Yeah, we have the logistics are better now. We've got a system. Yes.
So don't worry. If they go out of stock, I will restock them. Don't worry about it. You can get them soon. All right. That's all I've got. That's all she's got.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Well, until next time, I'm Matt.
I'm Paige.
And we'll see you.
Bye.